One more. So today we're going to be fixing the misfire in my Camaro because I'm getting sick and tired of this thing not working whatsoever. So it should be a pretty straightforward and simple process. We're going to be throwing in some brand new ZL1 injectors and hopefully this gets rid of my misfire. Let's do it. This is what we currently have done so far. I've got Jake helping me out. He has an awesome 5th gen Camaro, which will actually show within this video, but basically I'm removing all of the brackets for the windshield wipers to give me more room to pull this freaking Whipple off. Like I said, the injectors are underneath the Whipple Supercharger, so the only way to get to them is by pulling the entire thing off and doing an uninstall. Just a quick little rundown. I'm gonna have to disconnect all the coolant hoses, disconnect all the fuel lines, disassemble the port injection, drop the valve covers on each side, and it is going to be a freaking process. But I'm gonna stop complaining and get it done because I want this car at 100% so I can take it and hopefully run a 9-second pass. Told you all, Jake has a crazy 5th gen Camaro. Check it out. This thing sounds mean, has a thumping cam, also on a drag pack. I forgot to mention the center exit exhaust. So Jake has a stock LS3. As you can see, when he plans to do a Gen 5 or Gen 4 Whipple, a 2.9, so this thing's gonna be pretty saucy. Cam, BTR, and it chops a good amount. Jake bought this off of a dude that did autocross, so that's why he has the half cage in there. 4-point harnesses, pretty sick, and then I really like the gauges here too. So I think all 5th gens have that, but it's really nice. And then all that orange you see on the inside is actually factory, and I had no clue that these cars come like that. I thought it was like a custom little paint job, you know, paint match, but this is actually factory. It lights up orange at night as well. Is blown out, the synchro, so you can't hit it, but it's probably a good thing we did it at the same time. That thing is so loud. Here he comes again for the 2nd time. God, this thing is so clean. One more. Bro, it is so loud. We'll be seeing a Gen 4 Whipple install on this car very soon. It's gonna be rowdy. It already is pretty quick. It sounds nasty. You excited?
Yeah, really excited.
So basically what I have to do now is remove the valve covers so I can actually take off my port injection rail. It's 10 bolts around the entire thing, and that's what I'm working on right now. Some of these are in some pretty stubborn spots, but I don't want to drop them either. Oh, I'm going to need the magnet, sir. I'm going to drop it. There we go. Let's go. So all the bolts for the valve cover are now off, which gives me enough room. So you can see my lifters and all that in there. And then these 2 screws have to come out. So that's why I took it off, so I can have access to those. Now I can pop the port injection rail, and that's what my port injection looks like. So I'm gonna set this off to the side for now, but now I have full access to actually remove the Whipple because these rails were blocking the bolts underneath to take the Whipple off. God, that's a lot of E85. You wanna go which way?
Left.
Okay, hold up. Let me. Ow. Where did that fall? Floor. Worst idea ever.
Probably should have given us a bit more room. Look at that. How much is that bad boy squatting?
315 for reps.
Remove these injectors. You actually have 4 14mm bolts, and that's what I'm taking care of right now. And then the entire rail will pop out, kind of like the port injection. Same idea, but it's direct. And then when those bolts are pretty much loosened and you take out all the sensors, the injector rail should come out. There we go. So that's what it looks like. This wasn't the side that was misfiring. We did that off camera for the TT, But yeah, this is the other side that we're gonna replace now with all LT4 injectors. Show you all exactly how you get these clips out, which can be very annoying. So you take a pry tool. This is a trim removal tool. I'll stick it under there, but obviously I'm gonna have to have Jake holding the rail, and then I'm gonna pry up and then it'll pop. And then you can actually also pry the injector out of there because they're very hard to get out. I'm gonna throw in the LT4 injectors and repeat the same exact process. I do need to loop this and then they'll all click in. When you do go back to put the clips on, you need to make sure that everything is lined up exactly like this, and then you'll push the clip on top. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the rail in. Should be all good. Of course, I'm gonna torque it to spec. It's 18 foot-pound. What I think we're gonna do is time-lapse the entire reassembly, and then tomorrow I'll get the port injection tested to make sure that it wasn't cylinder number 6 on the port side that was misfiring, or causing the misfire.
I'm here when you need my
the next day.
The results to the port injection test. So as you can see, the pattern was good. It also flowed at 94 pounds an hour, and those injectors are supposed to flow at about 96. So that's all good. It wasn't the port injection causing the misfire. Last little harness that I need to plug in, and guess what? It's official. Sully is ready for the first start with the new injectors. I'm quite excited. Fingers crossed, no fuel system leaks. I might have to top off the coolant because I did lose a good amount of coolant when I took the Whipple off out of that reservoir. So yeah, might have to do that. You all have seen me do this before because yeah, I've posted it, but basically this is how I pressurize the fuel system without actually starting the car. So this is the safe way of checking it out without mixing fuel with a hot engine. You slam the brake all the way, you slam the gas pedal all the way, you turn on the ignition, which basically doesn't let it start. It puts it in that service mode. Once again, that's all it does. You shut it off, and now the intercooler pump is running, as well as all of the fuel system. So the fuel system is running right now. It's primed up and pressurizing all the fuel lines. And what I do is I just go by hand and I make sure that all the fittings are dry. If they're wet, that means they're leaking. So yeah, that's pretty much how you check. I already did the burping procedure, so let's see if she fires up. Let's see if this puppy starts after all this work. There we go. Yes, sir. Making sure that I don't have a fuel system leak with those hard lines for the direct injection. So if we look at my fuel rail pressure, it's keeping up with the desired value. If that dropped, that means I'm screwed and I have a leak. Step here is to actually get a new tune because I have bigger injectors and I also upgraded to the ZL1 fuel pump. So obviously the fueling needs to be adjusted, you know, for the new flow rates. And basically we're gonna optimize and dial this car in with a nice tune. So on that note, if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.